Yo, got a Scareclaw deck profile for you. I played this deck in a couple locals. It is playing adventure, but I will have some budget options listed in the description. In general, this deck is alright, I guess. You can win some games. I don't think this is like an insane meta call or anything. I just thought the deck seemed cozy. You got your ability to swarm the board, kind of got a towers, maybe even a floodgate. You know, just a warm, cozy blanket of an archetype. I make Dryheart, I pass. You have Imperm, you win. You have Talents, you win. You have Evenly, you win. But when they don't have it, they're going to fucking die. For the main deck, 3 copies of Reichart. This searches a Scareclaw spell or trap, and if there's 3 defense position monsters on the field, including your opponent's, you can draw 1. I'm not playing Rhoda for him, despite him being the best Scareclaw, because I don't think he's actually the best starter, especially in the adventure build. The reason being, you can't activate him on normal summon the same turn you use Right, and he's level 4, so Tryhard can't reborn him later to get additional extension. I think it's better to just search him off of Tryhard. Then I'm playing 3 Acro, 3 Astra, and 2 Balone, along with the 1 Vsauce Starfrost. Gives you an attack boost, gives you multiple attacks, gives you piercing. You don't need to cut down on Baloney. I just wanted to play an additional hand trap. The deck needs all the help it can get going second. Starfrost is searchable off the field spell, and he lets you clear your extra monster zone so you can search an additional copy of the field spell for follow-up on the next turn. He's also a level 6 tuner, so him and Reichart or him and the adventure token can make Barone. Then 2 Reichphobia, 2 Arrival, and 1 Twin Saw. Arrival is a non-once per turn monster reborn, and it has a once per turn Bay Lynx-like effect, so if your Scareclaw Link monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this from your grave instead. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing 3 of this, but I only have 2. 2 definitely doesn't feel bad, though. I haven't really felt like I needed the 3rd one yet. The field spell is a Rhoda field spell, and it also gives a attack and defense reduction for each defense position monster on the field, and it has the ability, if there are 3 defense position monsters, can target a card on your opponent's field and destroy it. I'm only playing 2 Reichphobia because every Scareclaw monster searches this, and this is better as an extender than an actual starter. If you use this as your starter, then you lose it as extension, so I think that kind of sucks, so opening it just feels bad. Like, I wouldn't ever want to play Terraforming at a 3rd copy in this deck. Twin Saw's effect is tribute a Scareclaw monster to pop 2 cards your opponent controls. Exactly 2. And it has a second effect. If you control a Link 3, you can banish this from your grave to make it so neither player can activate Link monster's effects for the rest of the turn. Searchable Lingering Floodgate. Very cool. Very cool. I'm not playing cards like Splash or Straddle because I just never really found myself searching them. Splash is just an Omni-Negate, so it's not bad, but like an Icarus attack with a Lingering Floodgate is nuts. Straddle isn't the worst thing ever either. It's kind of like an Honest, or it can negate one effect that targets your Scareclaw. To me, they seem like side cards, if anything. Then the Brave Token Engine. Playing a Legal Knight because he's cool. Honestly feels like he's better than Griffin sometimes. For the hand traps, 7 Bestials. I'm playing 3 Magnamute, 3 Druisworm, and 1 Saronir. Magnamute is especially good because you can use it as that last bit of extension you need, and he will replace himself as a hand trap. I am playing Ash. Ash is weird this format. Really hit or miss. But when it hits, you probably win. Hand traps like Ash that actually go to the grave are made out to be even worse when considering cards like Kelbeck, which can trigger right after you use Ash, and that is an out to Tryhard, so you could play something like Nibiru here instead. Nibiru also has a little bit of synergy, letting you get 2 defense position monsters on the field. Nibiru has its own cons, though. And then 3 Imperm. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Scareclaw Lightheart. This searches the field spell non-once per turn and has a second effect. If you control Starfrost, he just summons himself from grave for free once per duel. So you can go Starfrost, pop Lightheart, summon Starfrost, summon Lightheart, and then you can link this Lightheart in the main monster zone into a new Lightheart and then search a follow-up field spell. Because he just requires any Scareclaw, including himself, as long as he's in the main monster zone. Link Spider. This is for turning your adventure token into an effect monster to try and climb into Tryhard should you be that desperate. IP, Dark, Unicorn. 3 copies of Tryhard. This is the boss monster of the deck. It has a continuous effect to force everything to defense like Baguska, and it's unaffected by the activated effects of defense position monsters. And that's including if it leaves the field. So if you, like, tried to exile the force Tryhard, for example, it would still be unaffected by it because it was in defense when it activated. It also has an ignition effect to target a level 3 Scareclaw in your grave and reborn it, and then search for any Scareclaw monster. And then it Scareclaw locks you. So you'll want to summon your Water Enchantresses and Bystials and IP before activating that. The reason I'm playing 3 is because it's not uncommon to pass on 2. And it's also not uncommon for him to be immediately outed. For some decks, it's really a challenge. For others, they summon a Druis Worm. Appaloosa. Appaloosa gets a lot harder to beat when hitting over her isn't really an option. Access code, I haven't summoned him yet, and I keep changing this slot from things like Phoenix, Underworld Goddess, Asa, the Earth Charmer. Eventually I'll play a game and I'll say, man, I really wish I had this specific card right now, and then I'll play that card. Until then, we play access code. I am playing a Zeus package, Fortune Tune, Downard, and Zeus. 2 Scareclaw monsters lets you access this. I've never summoned any of it, but I also haven't really played against a deck where it would be warranted. Water Enchantress being a level 3 extender also fucks with me. Like, there has to be something good I'm missing. Maybe it is better to cut all this stuff and just play, like, Shen Shen. You can play Gossip Shadow, Ravenous Croco Dragon, Wallow. I don't know. Then I'm playing Barone. For the side deck, I'm still trying to figure out what I like. For now, I'm on 3 Lancia. This is for going first, to protect myself from cards like Evenly Matched and Druis Worm. It's also good just going second against decks like Fluanderies, Tri-Brigade, Dragons. Dark World probably gets shut down from a lot of plays. I don't know, I'm not 100% sold on it yet. I played against a dude that convinced me to try it out. I was originally on Judgment, and while Judgment shuts down cards like Dark Ruler and Talents, your opponent could always just have a second copy. And Lancia disabling Bystials is a nice selling point. 3 Droll and Lockbird. This is for decks like Dark World, Vernisylph decks, Fluanderies, Draco Slayers. 3 Forbidden Droplet. This is flexible. Could be something like Dogwood, Nib, Evenly, or even something like Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse has a few interesting little things about it. Changing your opponent's monsters to defense to enable your field spell and enable a Rykart to be a draw 1. It also will disable things like Tearlament Soliak. And then obviously Kashtira, it's a good out. I just don't know if it's time to play that yet. For Droplet, I chose this over Dark Ruler because it's an adventure token deck. I don't want to auto-lose to Anti-Spell Fragrance. You can also just get free pitches for it from things like Fateful, Water Enchantress, or the Scareclaw Field Spell. Having some form of effect negation other than Imperm for pesky monsters that Dracoback might struggle to out, such as Barrier Statue, is nice. 3 Cosmic for back row. And 3 Dimensional Barrier. Another option here is Different Dimension Ground, which I was playing before. I wanted this to be a chainable, lingering back row to play better into back row removal and evenly. For now, I'm on D Barrier just because I played against literally 1 branded player and got bodied. I'd say overall DDG is better, but against the decks in the particular locals I've been playing in, I'm seeing decks like Sword Soul and Branded, so I think D Barrier is better. And that's the deck. If you want to see the deck in action, I'll release a video shortly after this one that should be a good showcase of the deck, just uploading games to show how the deck wins, how it loses. Anyway, thanks for watching.